Welcome to the AMN podcast, and it's gonna be lit. Today we're talking about the book Wednesday Wars and the main characters.
The main character is Howling. He is in 7th grade. There are also other characters such as his sister. She wants to be a flower child, which is a hippie. His mother, who is a stay-at-home mom, and his father, the owner of Hood and Associates. Then Howling has his girlfriend Mara Lee, who has been in love with Howling since the 3rd grade, his friend Danny, and Mai Tai, who is from Vietnam and Danny's girlfriend, also Doug Sweetswood. Then there is his teacher, Mrs. Baker, who helps him learn Shakespeare and gives him life lessons.
Then the setting of the book was in 1967 during the Vietnam War. He lived in the perfect house, and inside there was the perfect living room where no one had ever walked because no one ever did. Then you could not sit on the couch because it was covered in plastic. Then most of the time in the book, they spent most of the time in the Camilo Junior High School, where Howling goes to school, and he had all his classes in Miss Baker's classroom, where Miss Baker taught him Shakespeare, and he had to stay at school on Wednesdays, but no one else did because he was Presbyterian, and the other half of the school was Jewish or Catholic, and they had to go to church. And then the book starts out with Howling at his first day of school, and he already thinks Miss Baker hates his guts. When he goes home from school, he talks to his mother about how he thinks Miss Baker hates his guts, but his mom thinks he's crazy. And then he goes to talk to his dad, but his dad thinks that he's crazy too. So then he goes to talk to his sister. His sister thinks he's crazy too. So then, the next day of school, he goes and he checks his desk, but he thinks Miss Baker put like a booby trap in his desk. So he has Mara Lee check it for him, and she tries to slam the desk on his fingers because there was nothing there. And then they went to recess, and they were playing soccer, and he was guarding the biggest kid in the school, Doug Sweetstick's brother, and he kind of knocked him out because he tripped him, and he had to go to the hospital for it. After recess, he had to go to the principal's office because he had trouble with math last year, so Miss Baker thinks that he should go back to 6th grade math, but he got his way out of it. And then a week later, his friends found out that he had been getting cream puffs from Miss Baker, and they didn't like that, so they started threatening him. And so then, the next day, they said that if he didn't get him cream puffs, they were going to threaten him, and he didn't have enough money to get the cream puffs. So then he went to the bakery. He was looking to see how much it would cost. He's like, I wouldn't have enough money for that. So then the owner of the bakery said, oh, if you do Shakespeare for me, then I'll give you free cream puffs. And so he agreed to it. The next day, he was cleaning Miss Baker's rats' cages, and he put them in a different cage so he could clean their cages. Then, when he finished cleaning the cages, he put them back. While he was putting them back, one bit his finger, and he dropped the cages. And he accidentally dropped the cage, and they went into the ceiling. A week later, after training with Miss Baker for cross country, he found out that she was a silver medalist in the 100-meter dash. Then she taught him to run like Jesse Owens. He goes to his tryouts for cross country, and the rats are being picked up by the exterminator. But while he picks them up, they get loose, and Howling is running, and they see him and they chase him, and he ends up setting the school record for cross country. A couple days later, him and his dad were gonna go to a Yankees game, but his dad canceled out on him, and Howling didn't know. So Miss Baker saw him that he was super sad, so she took him to the game, and she was recognized by these two baseball players and they recognized her for being the silver medalist, 100-meter dash silver medalist. Then one day at school, they found out that Miss Baker's husband had been lost in the Vietnam War, but he was later found in a jungle in Vietnam, and he was being brought back to the United States. One night at dinner, his sister decides to tell his family that she wants to go to Columbia University, but his dad gets really mad because he hates Columbia University. So one day she decides to run away with some dude at Columbia University, and the guy leaves her, so she has to call Holly to go pick him up. So then at the end of the book, they all go to Danny's bar mitzvah, where Danny says a few words, and he yells, he now has become a man. And Howling's father said that Danny is not a man just by saying a couple words, and his father says you become a man by getting a job and supporting your family. But Howling and him have an argument about how to become a man, and his dad gets mad. So Howling's family leaves Danny's bar mitzvah while Howling stays at Danny's bar mitzvah.
Now we will be talking about how Howling has changed. At the beginning of the book, Howling was not very smart. He thought that Mrs. Baker hated his guts when she was just trying to help him. He was afraid of his father and never stood up to him, but at the end of the book, he is more independent, and him and his father have a very important talk about how you become a man. Shout out to Mr. Blaze's YouTube channel, Adam Blaze It. Go over to his channel and hit the subscribe button.